reported. A source also telling us there is a lot more to the investigation than what is being made public. The developments come as a new report finds Hillary Clinton's campaign paid a tech company to link Donald Trump to Russia. Let's bring in Jim Trusty, former prosecutor for the Department of Justice, joins us now. Jim, great to have you here today. So what do you believe is next for Durham in this investigation?
Well, you know, the great thing is none of us know. I mean, that's actually a refreshing moment with high-profile prosecutors. So many of these prosecutors that we see, particularly if like Donald Trump is under the gun, are willing to like talk out of court about where they are in their investigation. We saw that with the Mueller probe. And Durham, frankly, is doing it exactly right. He's being a professional prosecutor. He occasionally has pleadings or filings that give you a little bit of insight as to where the case is going. But he's doing it behind closed doors, and that's really what we expect and deserve when it comes to professional prosecutors. Now, it looks like, Sandra, he's really kind of engaged in a couple of different potential buckets for potential criminal indictment. One is still FBI leadership. You know, the FBI political class and their involvement in the Russiagate is pretty extraordinary. There's a lot to say about, you know, Comey, McCabe, Strzok, Page. And then the other angle, which we saw with the Sussman indictment in particular, was going towards the Hillary Rodham Clinton campaign. And we really don't know how far that thing can reach, but it could go all the way up to Hillary Rodham Clinton if, in fact, she approved of a knowing disinformation campaign at Trump's expense.
Which is why the Wall Street Journal editorial board this morning is asking the disclosure, raising troubling questions far beyond the Sussman indictment. How long did this snooping last? And who had access to what was found? Who approved the access to White House data? And who at the FBI and White House knew what about it? Were Mrs. Clinton and senior campaign aides personally aware of this data trolling operation, which led to this exchange, many of those questions, at the White House yesterday with our own Jackie Heinrich? Listen.
Does the president have any concerns about a candidate for president using computer experts to infiltrate computer systems of competing candidates?
That's something I can't speak to from this podium, so I refer you to the Department of Justice.
Is what was described in that report monitoring internet traffic? Is that spying?
Again, I can't speak to that report. I refer you to the Department of Justice.
Generally speaking, with monitoring internet traffic.
Jackie, my answer is not going to change. I refer you to the Department of Justice.
All right. Well, Jackie tried. She pressed her 3 times in that White House briefing room yesterday, with the press secretary ultimately saying, "I can't speak to that." What was your reaction?
Well, no surprise there. I mean, it wasn't particularly illuminating for Jen Psaki to say that. But look, this recent filing has many more open.
It was the other Biden press secretary,
yeah.
Just to be clear, yeah.
Right. My bad. I couldn't see. But look, you know, open questions that are abound from this one little paragraph in the recent filing. It was a fairly routine filing, but it had this paragraph talking about the domain name system analysis. I think the really huge question from that paragraph is, what does it mean that they had a sensitive arrangement with the White House? I mean, that is bizarre to think that there's some sort of contract, some sort of wink and nod, some sort of access to data that nobody else was getting. And again, the data was ultimately being used for pretty nefarious political purposes. And again, the context of that pleading is to say that Sussman had no business claiming there was a clear technological proof of a Russian tie for Trump. But we've got so many questions that stem from just 3 sentences at this point.
I just want to end by putting up this full screen real quickly, the Durham media coverage on this, Jim. It is worth pointing out the lack of media coverage that this story is getting, with 0 minutes on ABC, CBS, NBC, CNN, and MSNBC. Of course, we are covering it and will continue to right here. Jim Trusty.